When foreigners come to Colombia as tourists and end up doing business, we usually ask what they are seeing that we are not. And Tomal is the perfect example. A vacation of 2023 turned into a huge opportunity of business. What do he see?
See, I came here to Colombia to rest and have some vacation, but it became meaningful. And
¿Qué?
okay, hold on.
¿Qué tal? Ah,
But is it okay?
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Andres, I only came for vacation and take some rest, right? And suddenly it caught me in a way that I'm not staying here. From the very first day, I felt so comfortable, and I discovered something which for you guys is basically normal.
Just want to know, Tomal, what was that special? What was like this first impression that you have about Colombia?
Yeah, it's about the people, the creativity. I mean, see, in Germany, we are very, very structured, basically, right? And that is what is the difference. But here I see the incredible power, the incredible energy, and as well the capacity for adaptation and creating ideas into real products. And that is something which really caught my attention, basically.
Interesting because, let's say, this type of value, like we can have, like it's always in front of us, but we doesn't realize, like how do you realize that this type of ideas could, let's say, cross borders?
See, I've talked with a lot of entrepreneurs basically, and as well with my role being as well the ambassador for German Mittelstand for Colombia, so being a bridge builder basically. I've worked with many Colombian and as well with German SMEs and as well with investors. And this shows basically that the products which you're having, the services which you're offering, that it can definitely compete as well with international markets. You have a very young society, very intelligent society, and this is something which needs to be utilized basically.
Definitely agree with you. Do you think that Colombians underestimate our potential value for have export material in other countries?
Absolutely. See, if you're talking about Europe, let's narrow down a little bit to Germany or to Switzerland. So there's a huge demand for authentic products. And that is what you can really kind of offer, kind of specialized services, which comes as well from Latin America. And that is something which is like really, really nice to see, where you can export talent, where you can export authentic products, where you can export services, which bring a value add. And I mean, the value which you have sometimes don't get realized by the European markets.
And this make me think, what opportunities do you think us as a Colombians are missing, and where do you think there are like the more sectors where we are having leverage for exporting services?
Yeah, basically, I mean, you have the openness to conquer new markets, basically, so said. I mean, one of the sectors, if you're thinking about this, can be kind of fintech sector, right? I mean, specialized services which kind of fuel, let's say, remittance services, as an example, payments. And that is one really of the backbones what you can kind of export and build a bridge between, let's say, Europe and Colombia and as well Latin America. So the creative industry is like really huge for what you have, and specialty foods. There are as well authentic products, which are sustainable, and these kind of things are as well appreciated by the European markets.
Based on that, let's say, what do you think it's like the biggest limitation makes that the companies don't want to export their services or their goods?
Yeah, see, I mean, the one thing is authentic products. The second point is the partnership, authentic partnership, which is really important. And I mean, it's as well we are talking about the mindset, right? If you're talking about the mindset, it's like basically you always think, oh, maybe we are not ready. Maybe it's too complicated. Maybe I have to build my product 100% ready. But it's not about this, right? So you have to think practically. Practically, what does it mean? Understanding international markets, understanding your clients, understanding the mindset, And this is kind of both worlds to bring this some kind of together. And this is like foreign clients understanding them. I can give you a solution like payment, remittance. This is something which still from Europe, a lot of topics are feared of. Like, how does it work? For SMEs, this is a very good example, especially if we look on the German Mittelstand, which is small and mid-sized enterprise companies. Why should I go to Colombia? And if I take this decision, what is the next step? How can I transfer money? How can I build up my company? How can I connect to the right clients and so on? So the list is very long, but they're very essential topics which we're talking about.
100% agree with you. I think like the SMEs suffer, let's say, barriers or limitations in terms of how they can make payments, how they can charge their potential clients outside, because they are not, let's say, open to a market. Just like I remember a quick, an interesting number is almost 70% of all the production in Colombia is based from the SMEs. But its biggest restriction is that they can't use or they don't have solutions in terms of financial services that enables them have access to other markets. So definitely agree with you on that sense.
Absolutely, and that is exactly the point where you come in. I mean, you have a wonderful product where you can maybe spend like 1-2 sentences about this, what you're doing. On the other side, it's very important to give up these kind of fears, give up these kind of kind of something new is coming, and you really want to be open. How does it work? As I said, there are specific points which are in the beginning, and then on the other points, how to execute. And I think it's about execution, basically, what as well enables SMEs, and as well opening the market. You have young talents, you have very good understanding of products, you have a creativity. So all these points come together. So you can see a whole ecosystem, basically. And with really pinpointed products, you can really give an answer not only on the local market, but also to the global market.
Actually, like that was one of the key motivations for us to build Bio, because we understand that we like SMEs needs definitely this type of solutions that enables them make transfers like instant payments, like have exposure to currencies different than Colombian peso, which at the end makes them have an edge in terms of how they compete in other markets. And that this is the principal motivation for us to build Bio, where we enable our, let's say, clients, which are B2B and B2Cs, to have a solution in their mobile phone, to have a balance in USDC. They can spend with their card, which basically is accepted worldwide. And so basically all the balance in their account, they can just spend everywhere they have, and also they can make cross-border payments without friction to any country like around the world, and which makes them very competitive as well to make the off ramp of this let's say transformation of other currencies to Colombia. So definitely.
Absolutely. And this is like as well the next level of opening borders, right? I mean, okay, that's getting better. Gracias. Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is exactly what you're saying. I mean, you're kind of tearing down the borders, you're tearing down, let's say, the walls, which are between continents. And this is something which you can adapt to any other kind of part of the world, from Colombia to the world, basically. And building the bridge between Europe, you can take Germany, you can take Switzerland, you can take Spain, and solve a real world problem. I think that is something what is wonderful, not only for the individual persons, but also for currently, as you said, as you mentioned, B2B, SMEs, and kind of pushing them towards new markets, to new emerging markets.
Based on our understanding that you are, let's say, based in Germany, how do you see like these type of problems that these companies suffer locally, let's say, make them not to escalate as or compete in global markets? How do you see that?
Yes, Andres. I mean, the one point is you have to start with the research, right? This is like the very first point. You have to understand your target market. And you can take Colombia, you can take any other Latin American market. So we are talking about continents, we are talking about markets, we are talking about really countries, cities, whatever you want to take. You need to build a relationship. You need to understand the mindset. You need to be open. And I think everybody is doing their best, have their best products. Germany is, of course, very known for very precise industry solutions. But if you combine it with creativity, with new products, I think this is something as well the key to success.
Exactly. I think the perception of a real barrier, which means like how I, at the end of the day, how I will receive my money, it's key to understand. But what do you think, based on your position, will be an advice for these SMEs that are wondering to export to Europe or to any country worldwide?
See, there is basically, coming back to the previous point, there is kind of a barrier in the mind, right? If you're talking about payments, I mean, that's your business basically, right? If European companies think about Latin America, I mean, they work with Asia, they've worked with the Middle Eastern countries. In Latin America, it's basically that they say, okay, will the money arrive? Will it be safe? There's a certain uncertainty about, let's say, the market. And this is how long will it take and so on. There are some fees which you have. And overcoming all these challenges, I think you need kind of strong solutions like you have. And what can I give as an advice is basically that you should not wait for happening everything. You don't need a solution to solve every problem. You need to start small. You need to pinpoint on and focus on one issue what you have, and step by step grow your ecosystem basically. So we are talking about ecosystem growing. We are talking about solution providing. We are talking about product adaptability.
I agree with you. At the end of the day, there are the tools. The tools already exist. Basically, you need to, let's say, dare yourself in order to make just the next step and move forward. Thank you, Tomal.
Thank you too, Andres.